People always asking me what I got on. They be like, hey, Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Invis is everything braces isn't. More comfortable, fewer emergency appointments. Invisalign.
We are back with this week's Albanese construction feature story.
Robert St. Francis Jr. Brynn Boise Fults experienced many hardships throughout her young life. Looking back on her journey, Brynn hopes to help others going through similar situations.
Looking back at how much my life has changed, I'm super fortunate. I'm so grateful for everything that happened, and I'm super grateful for everything that I have today.
St. Francis senior attacker Brynn Boise Fults' childhood was full of changes and hardships. Brynn grew up in Reno, Nevada, where she lived with her dad. Brynn's mom was in and out of prison.
My mom has been repeatedly incarcerated for most of my life, so she was just overall a pretty absent figure. And so that meant that my dad raised me as a single parent, and he constantly made sure that I was loved and that I had a roof over my head and things like that.
But Brynn's dad had his own struggles.
When I was growing up, I faced varying degrees of poverty, and when I was in the 3rd grade, I was placed into the foster care system. I was only in foster care for about a year before being reunited with my dad.
Brynn started at a new school in Carson City after reuniting with her dad. Things were looking up, but at age 10, Brynn lost the person closest to her.
When my 5th grade year started in October of 2013, my grandpa passed away, and barely a month after that, I lost my dad too. So I was about 10 years old at that time, and basically my whole world was like torn apart.
Brynn's aunt and uncle live in the Bay Area. They took Brynn in without any hesitation.
Our family believes family takes care of family, and we certainly appreciate the government infrastructures and those types of things for people who don't have families, but we strongly believe that family takes care of family. And it was interesting, people commented to my wife and I that, boy, it's awfully nice that you guys take Brynn. It's like, it has nothing to do with nice. I think that it's been one of our larger blessings in our lives to introduce her into our home and to our extended family.
Brynn was used to constant change and moving around. It took her a long time to realize her new home wasn't just a temporary fix.
St. Francis is the 14th school that I've attended, so I was really used to moving around, and there were a couple things that happened before I ultimately moved in with my aunt and uncle, and I was kind of just ready to get out of that situation. But unfortunately, when I did move in with my aunt and uncle, I just assumed it was another temporary home, and it was really difficult for me to settle down. But once I got there, they provided me with therapy and made it apparent that I was there to stay and that they were a family that loved me and that wanted me there.
She's very receptive to feedback. She really is motivated to be the best she can be. So she made it, quite frankly, easy for us. And she, I think accommodated and understood that this was a safe, good choice for her. But there's always, young people in particular, trust takes a long time to build, and comfort takes a long time to build. Simple things. You remember when she got to us, she ate voraciously. And I think it's because sometimes she didn't know when her next meal was going to be historically.
Attending 14 different schools made making friends extremely difficult for Brynn. When she got to St. Francis, Brynn joined both the lacrosse and field hockey teams. Through sports, she found a group of friends who are like family.
I played field hockey freshman and sophomore year, and lacrosse as well during those years, and that's how I made a lot of friends, and friends that I still have. And lacrosse has taught me the importance of having like those team bonds and communication, and I definitely have like built a home through sports and met a lot of amazing people. And if I hadn't played on those teams, I would never have met them.
While Brynn's friendships grew, her relationship with her aunt and uncle also blossomed.
They do everything they can to see me happy and to see me succeed, and to push myself to push myself in school and other things. And I'm a senior now, and I'm applying to colleges, and I'm having like my last year playing sports, and they have just made it so apparent that they're proud of me, and they're so happy to see how much I've succeeded. so it's really nice having them.
Brynn worked hard to get her grades up. She currently has a 3.8 GPA and is looking at colleges.
She did not have all the advantages when she was young. When we got her, she was actually substantially behind the grade level in abilities. And she put the work in, and she has been motivated from her earliest phase to be the best she can be.
After reflecting on everything she's been through, Brynn wants to help others. She plans on majoring in child advocacy.
Looking back on it, everything, like the strongest emotion that I feel is definitely that I'm fortunate and that I'm grateful, but I definitely realize that I've persevered through a lot and that I've seen a lot and I've been able to overcome it. But the way that it makes me feel is that I really just want to help other people that were in my situation.
She's got a very sensitive heart. She's exceptionally attuned to social issues during this changing time, and it makes me joyous that she thinks about others in humanity and what our responsibilities are.
Brynn is still undecided on which school to attend. Wherever she ends up, Brynn will always have a place to come home to.
We'll be delighted when she goes and picks wherever she goes, and then she's always obviously welcome to come back when she needs. And we'll, as a family, we stay pretty tight and do a lot of things together. So it's, to me, the part of the journey is leaving the nest. My grandmother used to say, the only thing sadder than your children leaving the home is children who have nowhere to go. So we're delighted for her being able to leave the nest.
The Lancers' Brynn Boise Fults is as resilient as they come. Growing up, she went through unimaginable and heartbreaking times, but Brynn fought through. After moving in with her aunt and uncle, Brynn feels fortunate to have a second chance at life, and she is, without a doubt, making the most of it. Brynn has such a positive outlook on life and is so passionate about helping kids going through tough times. She wants to ensure that they have the same second chance she was given.
Yeah, and for her aunt and uncle to do that for her and put her in this situation where she's at St. Francis getting a great education, just awesome.
She's doing so great too.